Welcome to Cloud Dancer Speaks. Well, first I want to congratulate those who have progressed in the projects you've been given. And yes, Shadow Dancer, you are achieving what's supposed to be achieved. You'll find yourself, as you go along on this course, you'll find gradually your dragon will make himself draw closer to you. Well, that's enough of that. Some of you are acquiring a lot of aches and pains. I, for one, have been crippled up at days. I've also got an eye infection, which is also due to the pressure. The pressure on the earth is increasing, my friends. This I expected. So, if you're getting alarmed about getting aches and pains, this is where it's coming from. And if you're under any sort of tension, I suppose this will contribute to a lot of the pressure. Well, I've let Dark Raven 1 rest today because she's been under a lot of strain. She was under a lot of strain yesterday looking after me, which was a particularly bad day for me yesterday. For anyone who suffered from arthritis, even Mariella suffered pain yesterday with arthritis because it was a very high energy factor. Pressure had increased. But enough of this. I want to thank all of you for the work you've done. Some of you have now got a bit more active and are going on to more sites. You see, being a family site, I don't expect people to just drivel in when they feel like it and drivel out. This is their site. This is what they should be concentrating on, not other sites. So for those whose activity have increased, I congratulate you and thank you for this. This is all we ask. We ask for nothing else. Now we have changed, well, Dark Raven 1 has changed a few things. On the Order of the Dragons, no one, and this without exception, can now come into the Order of the Dragons and they're sponsored by a member.
Why don't you keep that saved for the
Yeah, but it's important because I want it. I don't want, because you can't do it on the Dragon site when people can't get in there, can they?
Oh.
See, so I want it to go out to everyone again. So those who wish to join the Order of the Dragons will have to be sponsored by a member who is already in the Order. This is to protect us and protect our teachings. Now, I was very concerned about someone who used David Wilcox, is it David Wilcox?
Yeah.
Name. Very concerned indeed. One, I'm kicking myself because I should have had more sense. One, he is in America, in Florida I believe, not in England. If it was David Icke, yes, it'd be more difficult to understand. But he was in Florida, so how the mother could he suddenly appear? Secondly, they've been trying to discredit him. Now we've often talked about fake invasions. This was it, I think. It was completely faked. I was taken in. We all were. And if we analysed it down and broke it down a bit, we'd have understood that this was a a complete setup. But we didn't analyse it, we just accepted it for what it was, and that was our big mistake. So I humbly apologise for this. No, there has not been a landing, official landing anyway. If there was an official landing, you would have had mainstream photographers there, you would have had a lot of influence there. So also, radar would have spotted the craft as it came in. But radar didn't. So a lot of it was pointing to this being a complete fake. Because it was David Wilcox, we accepted readily that this was an actual thing that was going down, but it wasn't. So this was sad and a setback. Don't make the mistake. It will happen, and I reckon it's going to happen this year. Now, we have discovered by our studies and our travels that we suspect a ship that's hidden in Iraq or Iran. And we suspect this ship is being worked on. There are several evidences Dark Raven one's picked up, and I have picked up on it. So don't be surprised. There are many people working on this craft. That's if our calculations are correct. Remember, your home is not here on the earth. You come from a spiritual place which is far more real than what this is. This is like a big hologram, as most of you have realized now. Like a matrix. A conglomeration of atoms and neutrons. Now, some people have said to me, oh no, this is a complete fake, this UFO hype. Well, if it's a complete fake, would they kindly explain to me how it is such an accelerated mode that we've reached the science that we've reached now? On our own violation? No, I do not think so. We have been given information from another source. And I believe that source to be the Star People. How can man, who's firing antique weapons virtually, in our case, or vintage weapons, in the First World War, suddenly streak into energy weapons, microwave weapons, bacteriological weapons, or germ warfare? How can we suddenly streak into lasers, masers, in this short time, in my lifetime? Things have accelerated. We're talking about tanks that have shielding. Which was perfected in Israel. The energy flux also around the pyramids has increased to a phenomenal rate. Yes, as we oldies are on the latter part of our lives, as it were, we feel the energy flux a lot more potent. But now some of you can find out these things and research these things yourself. You have astral ability. This is what I've been striving at, and what Dark Raven has been striving at for a considerable time now. To give you the ability to astral travel. To perceive spirit. Spirit. It's a ghastly word when you think about it. They're not spirit. They're entities. So in future I think I'll use that word, entities. And we can now perceive them. You'll find the breakthrough on this is incredible. Like there is a whirl, like a whirling energy spinning around the earth very fast. And this energy is, of course, has increased. We were told it will increase. Very soon you're going to get it increased day by day. So, be aware of what is happening. Very soon now, you won't need computers. Again, Dark Raven One has done a bit of research onto this. And there are televisions that do the same thing. You can browse the internet with it. You can enter onto Skype with it. You can do everything you want to do that you can do on a computer. Even my humble e-reader, I can get emails on it. I can enter the dreaded Facebook. That's another thing I want to warn you all about. Do not be attracted by Facebook. There's a lot going on that you don't realise. All your details are laid out on Facebook like a map. Send one thing out of place and you could get a knock on your door, a knock that you do not want. Now, there was evidence of this, wasn't there, Joan? Yeah. And I forget what he was condemning, but the United States of America, there are some good people there. That I vouch for.
He got put in jail.
Yeah?
By the FBI.
For what?
I forgot. But it was something he said on Facebook.
Oh yeah. As Dark Raven
14 minutes have passed.
Said, this guy was put in jail by the FBI for something that was mentioned on Facebook. So
14 minutes have passed.
Thank you. So be aware. Okay, that's my talk on Cloud Dancer Speaks. Thank you for bearing with me and listening to me. Namaste. Om Shanti.